I came out the mud. Pride is for poor people. I got one person I don't like. Stay over there. Don't come over here. We ain't fucking with you.
I got it.
Tam Telling Tales.
I got it.
Tam Telling Tales.
I got it.
Tam Telling Tales.
I got it. Tongue twister. Say it real fast one time.
Hey
everybody, it is Tam Telling Tales. Before we get started, I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell as well so that you know every time that I am uploading a video. Now, you guys, today's episode, I have the pleasure of having writer and director KC Carson with me. You guys join us for an exclusive interview with the multifaceted filmmaker KC Carson, who has made his mark as a director, producer, and writer. Known for his work on the hit movies Gunplay, Boundaries, Deadly Cure, and many others, KC Carson continues to push the boundaries of storytelling. In this interview, we'll dive into his creative process, the challenges and the triumphs of his career, and get a sneak peek into his next project, Feel My Pain, set to begin production in October. Don't miss this chance to hear from one of the industry's leading talents. So, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Every day is Christmas. Every day my birthday.
Listen, I like that idea because that means if it's Christmas and your birthday, you're always getting something. And I do like gifts. I do. Okay. So, KC, we start off the show with a game of preferences. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know, with this game, it's no wrong answers. All you have to do is just tell me which one you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First, let me ask you this. You from Detroit?
Yeah, I'm from the city.
Okay, bet. West side or east side?
On the east side.
You from the east side?
100% certified.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
I see a lot of East Side actors up here.
Hey, that's what it is.
Okay, all right. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Laptop or desktop computer?
Desktop.
Drop top or a SUV?
SUV.
BMW or Mercedes?
Mercedes.
Beach house or cabin?
Beach house.
Watch a sitcom or a crime drama?
Crime drama.
Aretha Franklin or Patti LaBelle?
Ooh.
I know.
Patty. Without the pies.
Gladys Knight or Anita Baker?
Anita Baker.
You said that real quick.
Anita, I got a whole Anita playlist we listen to every morning.
Every morning?
Yep.
Oh, okay then. Go ahead, clean house. I'll see you. Jay-Z or Nas?
Oh.
Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
SWV or Escape?
Oh, SWV.
Jodeci or Boyz II Men?
Jodeci.
Y'all love y'all some of the hood R&B dudes.
that probably could have been. I'm gonna say Jodeci, but that's like a dead even one for me.
LeBron James or Kobe Bryant?
Kobe.
Dang, you said okay.
It's not even a question.
Oh, that's how you feel?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Some Air Maxes or some Jordans?
Jordans. We don't wear Air Maxes.
Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock?
Neither.
Wait, hold on. You got to pick one, sir. You don't like none of them. No. Neither.
No Chappelle show for me at all. No Chris Rock at all.
KC, if you was drinking, you would have to take a shot because, see, that's not...
I just broke the rules.
You did. Well, not really, because, see, what happens is if you don't commit, then you got to drink.
Okay.
If you don't commit, you got to take a sip.
Chris Rock.
All right. I mean, I wasn't going to make you take one anyway, but...
So, I mean, he got some movies that was like, good.
Okay, so we do Chris Rock. Cat Williams or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
See, I like Kevin too. Yeah.
Cat Williams is not my cup of tea at all.
I feel you. I think he's funny, but
I don't.
I'll take Kevin.
His stand-up not good, and that Money Mike thing is, you can't build off of that.
Okay. Well, he said it. Road trip or flight?
Flight.
Button down or polo?
Button down.
You like a good girl or a bad girl?
You know, we'll be, how we looking at this?
To date.
You know, what we're looking at is good and bad.
Oh, goodness. So you would probably have to take a drink because you're not committing.
Good girl.
Okay. Steak or lobster?
Lobster, I don't like steak.
Frosted Flakes or Captain Crunch?
I don't eat cereal.
I mean, you never ate cereal?
I guess we would say Frosted Flakes.
Okay, but hold on. So you never ate cereal?
I
Like
don't
even when
drink
you was a
milk either.
kid?
So like when I was a kid, I didn't eat cereal.
Oh, dang. That sucks.
But if we had to choose, I would say Frosted Flakes.
White bread or wheat bread?
White bread.
Do you call it Shane Park or the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater?
Shane Park.
Okay, there it is. Sweet tea or lemonade?
Lemonade.
You watching Tubi or Netflix?
Netflix.
Regular Law and Order or Law and Order SVU?
SVU.
Having a beard or no beard?
I'm just trying to grow this, so I'm gonna say a beard for now.
Okay.
We'll
Just
see.
stay right there. You gotta say nothing else.
See how I go these next few weeks. It's gonna be cut.
Nope, stay right there. Just beard. So you gotta say. It's the answer. There it is. Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Facebook or TikTok?
Facebook.
Last question. Easiest question. Tam Telling Tales or any other platform?
Yours.
Okay, there we go. Now, see, I was a little concerned because, you do these podcasts and all my podcasters come up here, they don't be knowing what to say. They're like, oh, Lord, I can't say her because
no beef.
I do other places. But,
no,
yeah.
It's all love with everybody. They know that.
Cool. Boom, we done with preferences.
I'm picky, too.
So we know a little bit more about you, KC. We know you can't drink milk. You can't drink it or you just don't like it?
I just don't like it.
Oh, okay. So he ain't
No, I don't have
cereal.
No, I don't have no allergies and nothing like that. I'm just picky.
Us simple people, we was eating cereal. He was like, no, absolutely not. Give me some eggs and bacon, and toast and grits and orange juice.
You gotta.
Did you have oatmeal at least? Oatmeal? Dang, you wouldn't even eat oatmeal?
No grits, no oatmeal.
Boiled.
No eggs. No, I was. My people took care of me.
So, yeah, he was like, yeah, I was.
Yeah, I never lied to everyone time. I'm not the whole, I came out the mud. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get it from, I had to have my own ingenuity and everything, but it was I didn't grow up struggling. I didn't grow up poor. I never had ramen noodles. Don't know what they taste like.
Okay, then. I would just like to say, you ain't got to be poor to know what the noodles taste like.
No, not that, but a lot of people just talk about my daughter, she eat them, but that's just her preference. But a lot of people it's a badge of honor. Like I got it from the mud. I came from the struggle. Like that's not a badge of honor for me. Like
I feel you. I think it's important for people to hear that narrative, especially from people from the city, because we love to push. What you see getting from the mud, but it's a lot of folks who are from the actual inner city who didn't have them same struggles. You know what I mean? Everybody didn't come up in survival mode.
Anybody who know me know I ain't ashamed to tell you I come from structure and stability.
Come on in. I love it. Over there on the east side. Mm-hmm. What part of the east side?
East side of Drive. Nice houses.
I know, because we have all the beautiful homes throughout the city. Yeah, KC, I love it.
So I come from a very stable environment.
Okay, so outside of acting, well, you don't act, but you work in the field. So you write and you produce and direct. Outside of that, do you do anything, or is this what you do full time?
Really, that's what I do full time. I've been blessed. I had some entrepreneurial ideas, different times in my life that took care of me.
That's what's up. Okay, so tell me about the journey to get to where you are right now. Like, how did you develop the desire to even want to do it? And then once you decided that you wanted to, how did you develop your skills?
It was a little different for me. You can have some people who say I skipped a line, where I didn't grow up knowing really, I want to get into directing or I want to do this. Technically, I kind of been a boss my whole life. I always been in charge. I always ran businesses, things of that extent. So directing wasn't hard to get into because, like I said, I coached college basketball at one point. So directing and coaching are pretty much symmetrical. You can run a business. If you can be that CEO, you can be the boss, you're a director. It might not be in the film world, but you're the one that's moving all the people. So for movies, I had somebody that I was working on a project for the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority. And I needed a graphic designer at the time. Somebody introduced me to somebody. They were doing the movie and they didn't have the budget for it. I had the money. And at the time, I think they needed like $70,000. And for me, it was like, it's too much money for me to be a silent partner. So I spent like the next 2 years, like every day kind of educating myself on, I need to learn the film business. I need to grow. And things didn't work out per se with us business wise. And I ended up starting my own company and just taking it from there.
Okay.
But when people say like, well, how did you get started? Honestly, I had the money and the opportunity came where you see people now who Tubi's got a lot more restrictions than what they had, but you got a camera and you got some ingenuity and some ambition, like, do it.
I agree with you to an extent, right? Because I think sometimes there is a push to only be in it for the money. And sometimes it's reflective in the work. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really advocate for people doing what they love, you know what I mean? And having a desire and knowing that like, if I don't do nothing but just make my money back, like you can at least be satisfied with the work that you did.
It's kind of a catch-22. This is an arranged marriage. You grow to love it. Because for me, I've been out of a stage of life where you was chasing passion. We chase paychecks.
Okay.
Passion don't pay the bills.
I hear you.
So
it's definitely going to be a balance.
And I don't knock nobody who, you have some people who are just passionate. I'm going to be a social worker. I'm going to make $40,000 a year and I'm going to help every kid I can. And I take my hat off to those people. And you got somebody like me who that ain't going to do it for me. Mm-hmm. I'm chasing something way bigger. So the fact that I'm in it every day and you make these connections, you have these relationships, these rapports, you develop a passion for it. But walking in the door is a business for me. It's all about money. You ask me, would you do movies for free? No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna find something else that's gonna pay me good, and then I'm gonna start enjoying that, and I'm gonna learn about that. And if that don't work, then it's gonna be something else. Like if it was just like, I just want to be around it, I would still be coaching basketball, not making no money, and sending kids to college. But it's like I did that to pay my debts to society, and I'm over. That's over.
And you said you paid your dues.
Yeah,
I feel it though.
Like I said, passion don't pay the bills.
This is very true.
And I respect everybody who do it, because you got some lifelong philanthropists who have been out here and they say, I'm going to die doing this stuff. And I love them, but it won't be me.
Understood. Understood. Now, listen, you tapped in on coaching basketball. Mm-hmm. And that's dope.
I grew up
you was playing and then...
I grew up in a basketball family.
Okay.
My father, he coached at Detroit Persian in their heyday, the 80s, the 90s. Everybody that was big and powerful that came through that program. So I grew up in that era, came through there. I had a knee injury when I went to college, and that kind of set me back with things where I was pursuing basketball. And I said I got into a lot of other stuff. But I went back, like I said, it was a passion. I went back and I coached and traveled every summer with an AAU team, but it didn't pay the bills at all.
There it is. So at what point did you identify that this is the moment to be like, yeah, okay, it's time?
I think in 2014, I had my youngest daughter, Skylar, in 2013. In 2014, I told myself I just didn't have the time no more. And that season, a group of kids that had came up with me throughout the years, everybody had scholarship offers. They were going to go to college. So it was like, I'm going to see y'all out and I'm going to wash my hands with it. And that was it for me.
That's crazy. But that's dope though. And I think that's important for people to hear. Some things have expiration dates on them.
Hey, you see food, ain't nothing unlimited. It's just infinite. Everything is, even if it's preserved, it's only for so long. Mm-hmm. So once you do your time, sometimes you got to let it go. And
so now here you are.
And they open up the doors for other things.
Yeah, now here you are in the movie world, making movies. So what was the first one?
I did a movie called Asbury Park. That was the very first one. Then there was a host of movies that came behind there. I don't really talk about them a lot because I'm going through a legal battle with BS that came behind them. Oh. But like I said,
I didn't mention none of them at the beginning.
No issue, baby. It's all fine.
Oh, okay.
No problems about it. But Gunplay was my step out on faith movie where I ended that relationship and stepped into everything on my own. And Gunplay did well for me. And then I ended up doing Boundaries. That one should be streaming hopefully in the next 60 days. We'll have that one streaming. I did that movie out in Cincinnati with
Unique.
Cardiac Films, my homeboy Martez Brooks. I tell people best DP in the city, best wedding, the best wedding photographer that there is. We did that together, and then I turned around at the Gunplay and went to Cincinnati, Unique Productions and Cardiac, and that was dope. We did that one. King Wesley, Nunu Thurman, Meech Icewood.
Yeah.
Like I said, Unique. This was her first leading role in the film. Hope I don't forget nobody. And then we turned around and did a movie. She has a daughter that was turning 16 that told her that she wanted to be an actor. So we did a movie called Deadly Cure. I think it was in June, early June. We did Deadly Cure. So that one's in post-production now.
Oh, yeah. So we got some stuff coming on out.
Yeah.
I really did want to get to that Cincinnati premiere, too. Because it was my old stomping ground.
It was dope. Different feel. Like people say other towns or other cities are a little bit slower than what we are and they're not moving as fast. So their premieres and filming is new to them. Like, here, there's a production going on every week.
Yeah.
This is what we do here. But for them, it was completely different, completely new, innovative. So even the premiere thing here is kind of watered down. It's like a Little Caesars or a Subway is everywhere. But for them, this was like a 5-star restaurant. So it was dope.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go, because I'm always, red carpets here in the city. And I am interested in seeing, what the differences are when you go out of town. And so you kind of touched on how different it is.
Yeah, I think here, a lot of it is about support. Yeah. You got certain people who fall within certain camps. So these people don't support them. These people don't support them. I'm kind of neutral. I got pretty much a good relationship with everybody. So like Gunplay, we sold the whole theater out at the Bel Air. We had every theater. We sold it out. It was crazy. It was oversold. People standing up. And Cincinnati, we had like 500 people that came to the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. That's kind of like their DIA of Detroit.
Okay.
So that was dope. They had a catered dinner before we actually went in to watch it. So that was a new experience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that went well. And I'm glad that it's, venturing off, especially the movie premieres, into other areas. So that gives, I think, other cities, a taste of, the red carpet feel. And probably some of the folks that's here, the opportunity to have it revived and, refreshed. Because like you said, it's so many of them now here that it's just, regular.
For sure.
Day in the park.
It's an everyday thing.
Can you tell me, and this might be a hard question for you, what's been your favorite film that you have either produced or directed or written on thus far?
Gunplay gonna always probably be what's special to me, just because, for one, the nature of the film, we don't get a lot of action films that come through the city. So the special effects that we put into the movie with the blood splatter and the guns and everything that we did, the cars flipping over and everything that came with it, is not something that you see in a lot of movies that are independent.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal for me. I think there's one that I'm working on now called Hit. I think that's going to be real good. That one I'm really planning on that to be real big.
Hit, is it an action?
It's like a suspense thriller.
Now, we always see folks who are behind the camera getting in front of the camera sometimes. Are we ever going to see you in front of the camera?
It's not necessarily a passion.
Okay. Not even just like a little cameo.
At times you see, like my youngest, Skylar, she wanted to be in the movie. So in Gunplay, in the diner or the restaurant, we was at the table together because she wanted to do it. And she like, I want you to be here with me. But you got some people, it's like a big deal for them. Like, I don't really care.
You said, nah, I'm straight.
Like I said, I'll never say I won't do it, but it's not a passion where it's like, like Kamal love to act. So he's writing characters for himself. This is me and I'm going to do this, and that's for him and it works, you know what I'm saying? Because that's his craft. That's what he loves. For me, it's not really my passion, so I'm not looking where I'm writing like, this would be dope if I did it like this, or if I see this. It's just,
You're like, I just want to make sure that it looks good on the screen, that people enjoy it enough to watch it and make some money.
That's how it works.
Bam, there it is.
Simple process.
Well, listen, everybody. This episode of Cinema Chat is being brought to you by this beautiful, beautiful book you see right here, Second Time Around by Lesanda Moore. Everyone, make sure that you head over to Amazon and grab yourselves up a copy of that book on today. Okay? And we are back. A little shameless plug, but not really shameless. You know we like to play games over here, KC.
Shoot.
And I got another one.
Okay.
Another game, okay? Now, don't let the title of this game, throw you off or anything, because I know you're not going to drink with us or anything like that. I didn't even get a drink either. Did you notice that?
Why not?
Because, just, you're not drinking, I'm not drinking,
Don't let
it's a very
influence
sober
you.
day. Listen, I don't be needing that drink. Not for real. It's still going to be a good time, okay? So we do have some questions. It's from the game Drunk Confidence.
Okay.
But we just going to call it Confidence on today, okay? So these questions, if you are not able to answer them, then I feel like I should probably make the producer take a shot.
That sounds like a plan.
You like that?
I like that.
I like that. I do. She's like, how do
You
I
outvoted.
get this?
Technically 2-1. It's over.
Yeah, you're
It's
outvoted.
unanimous.
Producers outvoted. So her sobriety is dependent upon the answer to these questions, KC.
Oh, man.
Okay. You ready?
Let's say confidence. I got a lot of that.
Knows the first and the last name of the girl who lived next door to the Tanners on Full House.
Yes.
You know it?
Kimmy Gibbler.
Okay, then. Next question. Can finish the notorious B.I.G. lyric, Super Nintendo Sega Genesis.
I ain't a Biggie fan.
You did that on purpose? No? You no?
If I hear it, I probably could, but I'm not a Biggie fan.
So that's a no. You can't finish that one, huh? Okay, then. Well, next question. Can name 4 cities that have Real Housewives shows.
Atlanta, Orange County, Charlotte, and LA.
You know what? That Charlotte one. I don't know. Yeah? Charlotte?
I didn't say Charlotte.
What you say? I think
Orange County, LA, Atlanta, and I don't know what the last one I said.
Okay. I'm gonna let him have this one. I'm gonna let him have this one. Okay. Because can tell me 2 memorized phone numbers of your contacts without your phone.
Oh, that's easy.
Really?
Yeah.
You know 2 people's numbers by heart?
Numbers.
Okay, well then, producer ain't got a drink. He know 2.
I can probably give you 10 easily.
Oh, okay. You a good one. Let me see. Can I do that?
Okay, so
Who your people?
one of my closest friends, Hardy.
I'm gonna bleep that out so you get Hardy. You're fine. Fine. We ain't gonna call you.
My girlfriend. I know the last 2 numbers of that one.
You know your girlfriend number by heart? That's
yeah.
wild for me.
My ex-wife, I know her number.
This is crazy because
my parents.
Okay, I can see the parents because parents usually didn't have the number for forever.
So like my mother and father and my brother have only had 1 cell phone number.
I've only had 1 cell phone number.
My mom's house number.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm one of them people, I just got one of the memories. So it's like, I can just throw them out.
That I have a cell phone, I don't.
Yeah, because usually when you put a number in the phone, like all you know is the name that pop up on the screen.
I'm different. I'm the one who actually dialed the number still.
Oh wow!
So like my circle, I just hit the number. Yeah, and then even like somebody new to me, like such and such number, probably not, but like my immediate circle, yeah.
Man, let me tell you, this one time, me and my homegirl, we done went to Miami, right? So now we in the club. She done lost her phone. Do you know she didn't know nobody number at home?
Yeah.
Like we had to go back to the hotel. She had to look her bill up online, find a phone number. Like it was a thing.
I got, you know how many people I could rattle their numbers off? Like cost such and such, and I know that number. Like,
Dang, that's crazy. Okay, well, dang, she still ain't got a drink. You ain't gonna get drunk tonight, so you'll be fine. You'll make it to work on time and everything. You're good. Okay. Knows the words and can sing the chorus to Lift Every Voice and Sing. Not the chorus, but the lyrics.
Yeah, I know that.
To Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, then. You gonna sing something for us?
No.
You can do the Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Till earth and heaven rings. Ring with the harmony of liberty.
Okay, look at you. Come on here, KC. I know you didn't want to sing because, you know, you look gangster and everything. You so smooth. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to sing it for me, but I know you know them lyrics. I see you.
I know all that.
Hey. Okay, this is your last question. I feel like you're going to get this one too. Can name all 4 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael.
And you said it quick too. You still be watching Ninja Turtles?
I mean, like I said, I actually had a childhood. So.
I mean, even the other kids, they had them a childhood too. So, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody don't remember all 4.
Everybody don't get a childhood. Like I had a childhood. We watched movies, ate pizza, all that good stuff.
Okay, so listen, you know all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even in your adulthood, because you know. Back in the day.
They don't change.
Right, but you know, when out of sight, out of mind.
Like Power Rangers and people like that. Like
out of sight, out of mind though. Like, you know, you know who they are.
I got a 3-year-old nephew. So he played with toys and stuff like that.
So they still be having the Ninja Turtles and stuff out here. Just okay. See, and that's probably where
they had
not having kids comes
in.
Because
they had a movie not too long ago.
It was revamped.
They had a new movie not too long ago. So
boom, there it is. So y'all, the producer, she is
sober.
Still currently sober. So so that was fun. Look at you. Okay, then. He had to make sure we know he had a childhood. So we do want to get back into talking a little bit more about some of the films that you are affiliated with. So I'm thinking that maybe we can kind of go down the line from like beginning part, Asbury Park, which we already kind of touched on, to some of the others in between there to where we get to the stuff that we're working on right now. So tell me a little bit more about some of the other films. I know like Absence of Innocence.
That was probably the best movie before I did Gunplay, just because of pre-cardiac films, you know, Martez Brooks, the quality wasn't there. It's just, you know, honestly what it was. Mm-hmm. So it was some good things that were there, but the quality of the films just wasn't at that level. And he brought a different dynamic to what we were doing at the time with filmmaking. So that was the first movie that he shot, and you could see the difference. It was like night and day. So he knew so much on the editing side about, you know, coloring, and, you know, he did a lot with making sure the sound was right. So having him come along, it changed a lot. And then that storyline was real unique. Me and Denzel, you know, that's my little brother, shout out to 2 L's, creating that character of Taurus and having him become that asshole, that wasn't his personality at all. So like it was a big transition for him to really get into that character and really embody it. That was a big deal. So that took place. And from there, kind of the groundwork was really being set at the time for me to make my transition and go on my own. And like I said, that's where Gunplay came. And then, you know, from there, we went Boundaries and Deadly Cure. And like I said, we be working on Hit Next.
Now, this portion is off record. There was another one, Black Lives. You don't want me to bring that one up?
Black Lives is cool. So Black Lives was a good story, but the production value was not great. So it wasn't a big budget. And sometimes you can tell something that, you know, you can see a video, like a music video, and you're like, yeah, they shot that in front of his grandma's house. They did it like this. Like you can just see it wasn't great quality. But, you know, if you could go back and say, hey, I want to go back and remake this, you know, and you take everything you know now, it would probably be 10 times better. But all those things were needed because that those beginning movies were the learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, you learn what to do, what not to do. That's where you made your mistakes, and you kind of really start understanding the movie business. Because it's like, at first, it's like, okay, can you make a movie? Yeah. Okay, now can you make a quality movie? Okay, can you write? Yeah. Okay, now can you write a good story? So like, those are things that are needed. Like, you know, everybody thinks that you just jump off. Like, you look at like a Dennis Reed, who Dennis had been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
He started with stage plays, and he had several different movies that he did, and he had to really grow into being like the powerhouse he is now. Like, you know, he mega at this stage, but it was a learning curve for him in different areas. You know, I think probably the only person that really came out the gate swinging was Lisa. Like, her first movie was a hit, and then from there it carried her. So, you know, saying along the way, where a lot of people, it's kind of like the building of it is just different. Some of it is time, and you know, some of it is just luck.
Yeah, we have seen the elevation of independent films, right?
Okay.
And I'm just curious, in your opinion, to make a quality film, what is a good budget to have?
I would say you need at least about $40,000. Let me take that back. It depends on your relationships, because you got some people who might believe in you and say, you know what, I usually charge X amount of time, X amount of money, but because you allow me to play a character I never played before, I'm not going to charge my normal rate because I really want to do this. You got locations that everybody just don't have. They're not charismatic. Everybody's not a people person, you know. So you can go into a location and meet the owner, and y'all talking, y'all kicking. You tell them, like, you know, I got this dream, and this is what it is, and I would love to lose this location, and blah 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 blah. And they like, hey, I believe in you. Somebody believed in me, and that's how I got here. So I'm gonna let y'all use my space for free. So it's a lot that go into it, but a lot of times I see people don't ask. Closed mouths don't get fed. You know, I can tell you what you can't cheat in the movie business. Your sound, you can't cheat that. Your sound need to be done.
The sound need to be done.
You need your movie to be colored. And in my opinion, you need a good DP. If you got those three things, and I think the aesthetics of it have to make sense, where you can't say somebody is a multi-millionaire and they living in a $30,000 house.
Yeah.
You know, this especially in urban America, you know, if a black guy, he got $2 million, he gonna have a nice car.
Yeah.
He gonna dress nice, you know, so you need the aesthetics to match. But a lot of that can be done it don't have to be super expensive. You just got to know what you're doing. And I think a lot of times people are afraid to ask other people for a helping hand or just advice.
Yeah.
Where I would tell people, you ain't always, you know, if you don't have a lot of money, go to the thrift store and get that man a suit. Now go get him a nice tie and a shirt from a regular suit store, but go get him a suit from the thrift store. Get it clean at the cleaners for $3 or $4, and who's gonna know? But you got people, they won't get that knowledge. Like, you know, I would never tell nobody to go buy real Louis and Gucci and stuff like that. Like, man, you better buy that shit, knock off this a movie. Who know it on camera?
Okay.
This ain't your real life. So who, like, you know what I'm saying? It's different. I ain't gonna tell you to wear it in your real life, but for a movie and this actor got to wear it and it can get dirty and it can be torn, I don't want to spend that money.
Listen.
So it's a lot that go into it, but it's not always super, super expensive for everything that has to be done. It's just knowing how to make it make sense.
I think you touched on something really important, is the relationships and communication.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember I went into, shout out to my man Justin from Big Bowls Grill. I was on the phone with Jen Ross, one of my producers, and we were talking about a specific location. And I had seen this restaurant on Instagram. And I went in and I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, this would kind of be dope for us to shoot that one scene in Gunplay. And I sent her a couple pictures and she like, I like it. And he got this big mural of himself on the wall. And I'm like, hey, you know, who in charge? And he came out, we talked, and I told him, you know, what I was doing. And he like, man, I don't want nothing. Use my place. He like, shit, it's free publicity for me. And from that, like, you know how many people, because of the food, people were like reaching out like, hey, where's this restaurant at? And he like, man, my sales skyrocketed from this. He like, I appreciate you. Same thing, Good Vibes, Bar and Grill on the east side on Harper Avenue. I reached out to Portia P. I went in, introduced myself, and told her, like, you know, I'm a film producer and I'm doing this movie. And I'm like, I think aesthetically this would be a great location. And she like, you know, I'm not going to charge you to use the place at all. And I'm like, okay, well, for me, it's like, okay, well, let me do this for you. What's your 2 best dishes? And she told me the name of the dishes, and we wrote those dishes into the movie. What's the drinks? One of them was the cash dial, and I don't know what the other drink was, but it was like, okay, when they ordered these specific drinks. So when people see it, it's like, oh, if I go to Detroit and I go to Good Vibes, I want to order the cash dial, or I want to order it was a trio that they had or whatever it was. But that was simple on my end to go in and write that in real quick. And it's like, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
So
developing relationships.
It's all about relationships, even with, you know, with your actors and things to that extent. It's all about relationship and rapport with people. You know, if I don't know something, you know, I tell people pride is for poor people. So my ego not too big to pick up the phone and call Kamal and say, hey, let me ask you a question real quick. Why does this happen? Or how do you do this? I call Dennis. Hey, D, real quick, what about this or what about that? Or, you know, Renika McQueen, me and Renika got a good relationship. Before we ever had the Gunplay premiere, Renika came and sat in my office and we screened the movie together. And I'm like, pick it apart. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what I need to go change. Because she cut and dry. You know, she real honest, she blunt, and she like, I'm going to tell you the pure, unadulterated truth.
Yeah.
So.
And gonna support you too.
Even like, you know, once I watched Stranger in Our House, I called her. I'm like, hey, congratulations. I'm like, but season 2, you know, think about making these changes. It will help out aesthetically. And it came from a place of love. So she could receive it from me because we got that kind of relationship. When she called me, you know, I made a post one day on Instagram or Facebook and some people took offense to it. And she called and she like, I thought it was funny, but as your sister, you might want to take it down. People took offense to it. And she like, don't be mad at me. And I'm like, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from a place of love. I hear you. So I think relationship and rapport in this business is big. I mean, when I look at it personally, I can watch all the Moolah movies in a weekend. The next 2 or 3 days, watch Dennis movies, then Kamal, and then Lisa, and then Renika, and then Beezy, and you go down the list. So what we beefing for? What's the competition? It's like, I'm not gonna make no less money because you put a movie out today and my movie come out tomorrow. I'm not gonna make no less money. They gonna stream your movie, you're gonna stream my movie. So this ain't the dope game where, you know, we both can't sell in this neighborhood because they only gonna buy from one of us. Then yeah, we competing with each other. This ain't sports where it's one trophy. In movies, it's like at the end of the day, honestly, I don't give a damn if you don't like it. Thanks for the stream. I ain't everybody cup of tea.
Okay, there it is.
If you watched it, I appreciate it because I got paid for it.
Because, you know, I mean, the fact that you brought up the beef, it's so funny because it's like this unspoken understanding that there is a beef, but I really just don't even know where it came from.
There's a lot of things that happen in it. It's a lot of people in the industry that don't get along for different reasons. I got one person I don't like, and is because they was on some whole shit with money.
Oh.
But our issues were, it wasn't personal, it was money. Other than that, you know, like I said, I'm a man. So I can tell you that he was a hell of a writer. He was a hell of a director. Like, he, as far as putting together a project, he was top tier. He's just a shitty businessman. But, you know, my personal feelings and my issue with him is about money. It ain't about nothing else with people when it comes to movies. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that kind of stuff. Like, somebody tell me, oh, you know, I didn't really care for your movie. Like, okay. Like I tell people, I don't watch horror. So the person who does Candyman or Chucky or the Nun and the Blair Witch Project, somebody asked me about them. I'm like, ain't really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at me for it. I don't watch sci-fi. So when you got trees talking and all that kind of, that's just not my thing.
What's your thing? What you like?
Drama. I like thriller, suspense. I'm an action junkie.
Do you like any of the stuff that's on the wall? Like any of these? A fan of anything? A lot of these are books, though, too.
The Wrong One is one of my favorite movies. Shout out to Kamal Smith. I got much love for Kamal. Low Down Dirty Shame. People don't know nothing about that.
Who don't?
You know, we quote that movie where I come from.
Shine. Quit tucking at my silk drawers. Don't love me like you do.
Power. The Lawnmower Man actually had a hell of a twist at the end of it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moolah. Shout out to Coach. Sino, Chris, them. A Good Man. That was a hell of a movie. Shout out to Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't personally know Ebony Tate. We've met a couple times, but Wesley did my last 2 movies. So shout out to him, King Wesley. Like I said, I got a great like big brother relationship with Kamal, where I can call him, hey bro, you know, this, that. Like even before I did Gunplay, we sat down, we had lunch, and I had like a list of questions. What happens if I run into this? What would you do with this? What would you do with that? So I can pick up the phone whenever and call him. Like I said, same thing. He called me for whatever it is. I got him. So yeah, Plug Love. That was in the beginning of Moolah now. That's one of their early movies. Like I said, a lot of them people, they lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They definitely have.
Yeah.
When you said early on, because I mean, I discovered
that's Fat Murder. See, that's how you know. Murder to slim down on this scenario.
Right, look totally different.
Yeah.
We were reading a book because you know I'm a book girl. So we were reading the book, and then of course, okay, now that we've read the book, we can watch the movie. So this was before Tubi and
did they make the book?
Yeah.
So that was a book like Moolah?
Danielle Marcus is the author of the book. But yeah, then boom, we watched the movie, and I was like, I feel like I like this movie, and I like things like this. Let me continue to watch more things. And then that's where, you know, the 211s and 50s and the buffed up. And I was just like,
and I think Moolah was like the first person that really jumped off the porch with hood movies. Like filming in people's backyards, abandoned houses, and you know, like him and Dennis took their own different paths. Dennis looked at a different crowd that he went after. Like Moolah really went after that urban crowd. Dennis wanted to get the people who came home from church on Sundays. He wanted, you know, saying a part of that hood crowd and stuff, but he was looking at doing it in a different demographic. And it worked. You know, saying it worked for Moolah and them, and it worked for Dennis them too. Yeah.
Knowing your target audience is important.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, that's something, like I said, I've had some great conversations with Moolah. Shout out to T. Like I said, same thing with Dennis. You know, Dennis taught me a lot of lessons in this game.
Yeah, you know what? He is full of wisdom. He gonna teach you some stuff.
You gotta, like, Dennis is a person that you gotta look at the message, not the messenger. Because he, you know what I'm saying, Dennis might say some fucked up stuff, but you gotta get past how it was delivered and take the message, you know. So, and sometimes too, it's about, like I said, relationships. You know, me and Dennis got to understand it. Dennis never come at me crazy, nothing like that. It's a great level of respect between the two of us. So, you know, I don't really get the horrible asshole part of Dennis a lot of times.
Yeah.
I get the cool, calm Dennis.
Yeah. I've always just like, you hear it, but I'm also one of those people that, okay, I hear what you're talking about, you know what I mean? But I also work off of personal experience as well. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened with this person may not necessarily end up being the circumstance between me and said person. You know what I mean?
I mean, like I said, I'm one of them people that how you interact with somebody and how I interact, like I tell people, only thing I'm going to tell you about somebody negatively is if they did bad business. Somebody, you know, saying they messed up the money, they stealing or they embezzling money, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, don't fuck with them. They're going to take your money. But if it's like, oh, me and this person didn't get along for this reason, y'all, you know, you may not bring out the best in that person. You may bring out the best in the person. Yeah. So just is what it is. You know, people that steal, they don't care who they steal from. They steal from anybody because they're opportunists at that point. But, you know, as far as on the other side of it, personal experiences, you might have caught a person on a bad day. You know, it's two sides to every story. So
yeah, and that's of course where the communication part comes in. So now we got to talk about some things. So whatever this beef is that, you know, the independent world of Detroit is experiencing, I am hoping that one day it just gets crushed. Like we just come along, everybody in the same room, sit down, powwow, and
it don't have to.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like if it were to happen, there is just so much more that could be accomplished because Detroit has such a presence already that if they came together, and actually work together towards an even bigger and better goal, I feel like they would be unstoppable.
I mean, you say that, but let's look at something like it's been no secret that over the years, and I can't say today, this moment, what that relationship is, but for a long time, it was a rift between Dennis and Lisa. Everybody knew about it. It was public. But Dennis got his camp with DR2. Lisa got her camp with Plush. So why do they need to necessarily be friends? Or like, they're not going to come together and necessarily do a movie because they don't need to.
Well, I'm not even thinking about movies or even being, besties. I'm just thinking about when I hear about some of the changes that's coming with some of the streaming networks, you know what I mean? And how the next stage for the independent industry can be beyond just making the movies. You know what I mean? When it comes to distributing of the movies, that type of thing, because there's a shift that we're already seeing with, I'm going to say it, with Tubi. Like, we're constantly hearing it. Roland Martin kind of touched on it a little bit, where you build up this platform with certain viewership, and then you start to kind of X them out of things. And then those checks start getting lower. And then what do you do to combat something like that? And I think that part of combating it is knowing the other people in this game who are good at what they do and coming together and overcoming what the hell it is that's trying to keep you on.
But see, that's a business thing. So if it was like, hey, let's all put our movies on this platform, it still wouldn't work out because everybody don't need to. Everybody's in a different position financially. So somebody who has movies and they're not generating a lot of income, if it's like, hey, if we go over here, you might get $25,000. Hell yeah, I'm going. But you got somebody else like, man, we make $25,000 a month or $25,000 a week. So they don't necessarily need to do that. So it's never going to be where everybody comes together to kumbaya because they're not in positions where they need to do so. I think that as long as, in my opinion, the actors and people like that can go work for who they want to work for, that's all that really matter. Like, they don't necessarily have to choose sides in that world. But then again, welcome to business. Because I always ask people, can you be a designer for Ford and Chrysler at the same time? No. So if it's like, hey, you can't work for DR2 and Plush at the same time, shit, it's business.
It's definitely good to hear this perspective out loud.
It's just what it is. Because, and that's real. For the person I got an issue with, if you and his camp, stay over there. Don't come over here. We ain't fucking with you. It just is what it is. Like, and sometimes people become a casualty of war. You see it all the time. You watch the news. Yeah. There's kids and families that get bombed overseas and they ain't had nothing to do with this. But it's part of what happens in life.
Yeah. So if you think you want to audition and work for multiple people, then you're probably not going to be able to. As
actors, it's like, for me, I don't really trip on that part. Like, if I like you, I like you. But at this stage that we had, everybody's, expendable and replaceable. You make actors, that ain't no big deal. But I'm going to feel some kind of way, like I said, for somebody who stole from me, for somebody to be like, that I got a relationship with, like, I'm finna go work with them. Like, oh, stay over there then.
And you think that's definitely happening right now?
It happens in the business all the time. I mean, it's just, again, it's the nature of, can you be blood and crip? No. Like, you ever hear somebody like, I am a Christian and Muslim? No, you're not.
Okay.
You gonna eat the pork or you ain't? Like, so it's like, it's unfortunate because, like you said, you get people who are affected by it, and it is what it is. Like, for me, I got mad love for Lisa. Love LB. No issues, no problems. Got love for each other. Same thing. I'm okay with Dennis. Had no issues, no problem. But I'm not in a position where I got to choose either. Mm-hmm. For an actor, and it's like somebody that's reoccurring in the Dirty D, probably not going to be a part of Street Legal with Dennis. There's a good chance you probably won't. But at the end of the day, you got to make a decision and do what's best for you. If you got the opportunity to do both, communicate. Listen, I am a working actor. I am trying to grind. I don't have no issue with neither one of y'all. I don't know what the problem is. I just want to act. I think that could be respected. But the fact that you went and you communicated that with people like, hey, I don't have no issues. I'm not choosing sides. I'm not going to talk behind nobody back. I just came here to work and that's it. Just Like Ebony said, I just came here to dance and that's it. So, but like I said, it's part of the game.
Okay, there it is. It's part of the game. Listen. Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about something a little lighter, okay? How about some books? We can talk about that.
I'm not really a reader.
You're not really a reader?
I'm like an audiobooks kind of guy.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
that's fine. Because, we got folks in here who are authors who have audiobooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you got an audiobook, I can listen to it because I'm in the car or I'm sitting at my desk or I'm doing something, I can listen to it. But to sit and read
you ain't picking up a book and...
Nah, the words too small.
Really? You got to get you like one of them big print ones. Like, you ain't that old to be.
It ain't even that. I got a lot of...
You just don't be wanting
I get a lot of screen time. Okay, I'm going to show you something. You can be like, dang, that's crazy.
Don't have no 27 fine... Sir. Oh, so basically what you're saying is that's a prescription in them glasses.
Oh, yeah. If you see me, if I got them on, they prescription for sure.
Okay, yeah, because them letters, that's too big.
That's my letters.
Okay, I hope you don't be writing messages that you got no business because they going to see your stuff.
I ain't worried about none of that. But my friends talk about me. They be like, man, why is your letter so big? Because I don't want to struggle to see them.
Listen, you could take that down at least a good...
You could take that down. I am so happy with it. Don't have no issues or problem.
That's true.
It's like a homeboy joke. I was at a barbecue the other day. My homeboy spoke. He like, hey, can you see this? I'm like, no, I can't. You might as well text it to my phone, screenshot and send it to me so I can zoom in and be like, oh, wow. Because when I'm looking at it, I said, oh, no. Just tell me what it say.
Yeah.
I'm missing all the inside jokes. Like I said, my girl can be right next to me. Listen, she can be right next to me texting somebody else. I can't see it at all. I'm like, I can't see it. My eyes hurt, so I'm not even one of them. Me on the other hand,
can see that. Okay, so pick your phone up and then put something on the screen, like some words, and then you can see it already. Listen,
my daughter.
Okay, and I said just
my
sit
daughter,
down.
Can we go to Five Below? and Five Below.
Five Below.
Yeah.
So
you show me something on your phone, I'll be like, no, thanks.
Let me see. Hold on.
No thanks.
Hold on. Let me see.
My eyes.
Let me show you something on my phone.
Not interested.
Okay. Can you see?
A lot of words. Can I struggle to see it?
See.
Fish fry location? Yeah, but if I got to do all that and I got to try, I don't even, that make my head hurt.
Okay.
Your phone, you way too far.
Okay. Well.
But like I said, even on my computer, my letters be that big. When I'm typing, like, listen, I'm not going to strain my eyes no more.
So listen, KC, he not about to be reading these books because these letters are too small.
Too small.
But he gonna listen to him on audiobook.
I will listen to it.
So what type of books though? Like if you listening to the books, I feel like you could listen to a little piece of drama, but you may want to listen to something nonfiction though.
Well, I tell people too, my mind works differently. So if I hear it, I can envision what happens on my own. So even like you talk about like Law and Order and things like that, I can listen to it at night, listen to the TV, not watch it at all. But I can listen to what's happening and visualize what's going on in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool on my end. Like my mind works like that.
I can too. I have a dream of doing audio dramas. I want to do audio dramas. But
I like
another story for another time.
Different books. Like I tell people, anybody who dates, I think you should read The 5 Love Languages, like Gary Chapman.
Okay.
I think that's something that's huge that you should read. And it just depends on what tickles your fancy. Like you got some people who are really big on like the Zane and different type of sex books. You got some people who are on that side of like the 48 Laws of Power. It's like, it just depends on what you're into.
What you into? I mean, outside of love languages and stuff like that.
Time-wise, if I know somebody and they're like, hey, I got this book, it's on audiobook, check it out. Other than that, I'm not going to search for books personally.
Gotcha. Okay, well, listen. One thing
like,
I got
again, if I know you and you like, I got a book, would you support me? I would actually go and listen to it. But on my own, I'm not like, what's the latest new book that's out right now? I'm not.
He said he not like me. Okay, because
I don't even do that. I don't do that I don't watch everybody independent movie. It depends on what the genre is. Like there's certain stuff that is like, I ain't really messing with that. Like I like DeWine Ford. Like shout out to him. DeWine is a cool guy. But they had a movie and it was him, Angelina, Sierra Angelina, and they had on like these old school clothes or something like that. And it was like supposed to be like kind of like a scary movie. I knew I wasn't gonna watch it.
It was DeWine in it?
It was DeWine Ford for sure.
Because I feel like I know what movie you're talking about, but I remember DeWine. It wasn't Emery Law?
I thought it was DeWine. It could have been Emery.
Yeah, I think
I
They
don't-
was in
I-
some. I know what.
You
I
know,
think-
but for
I
that
think
one,
I
it
know
might have
what
been
you're talking
Emery. My bad, DeWine. But for that one alone, like I knew just based off what it was, I wasn't interested. Like I had a writer I met with a couple weeks ago, and she like, "All right, 17th century." I'm like, "I'm gonna tell you now, we can stop this meeting right now. I'm not interested. Not my world. I don't like it. No thanks." I get people come to me like I had somebody hit me up like, "Hey, I got like 4 horror stories." I'm like, "I'm gonna send you Jen Ross' number because she's more into the horror world." I'm not into it. I don't watch it. I don't want to direct it. Like, no thanks.
Okay.
For me, like for something like that, it would have to come with like a crazy bag for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because it's just not what I believe in.
Well, listen, we done had us a good time. Some great conversation. I like talking to you.
I try to be cool.
Yeah. So listen, I am going to let you go, but before we do, I want you to just remind everybody what they should be watching from KC right now, what you got coming up, and where they can find you.
Like I said, right now we got Gunplay. Hopefully in the next 60 days, by the like mid-fall, we'll have Boundaries out. Probably the top of the year, we'll have Deadly Cure. That'll be out. I'm planning on filming Hit, hopefully the top of the year. We might be able to start in December, just depending on what me and Cardiac's schedule look like. Where you can find me, Instagram, I am KC_Carson. Facebook, KC Carson. That's KC, just the initials.
Well, listen, everybody, it's Tam Telling Tales, and I'm always encouraging you all to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you're watching, that you are liking it. Put us some comments down there in the section because I know y'all is watching. Y'all just don't be trying to tell me. And make sure that you are also following me on all social media platforms. Tam Telling Tales is where you can find me everywhere. You guys can head over to the website, www.tamtellingtales.com, if you need to talk with me about anything. And we have merchandise available as well, too. So make sure that you reach out for that. And that you guys check out Movie Reviews with Tam and Pablo. That is the newest, hilarious movie review segment that I am doing. And so... yeah, I think that's all that I got going on. So
you got to invite me on a movie review show.
Man, listen.
See, the bad part about that, you get somebody a bad review, they're like, you a hater. I was like, no, your movie just trash.
We are about to go, okay? But before we do, KC, I need you to help me do something.
Okay.
I need you to help me with my outro. It's really easy.
I think we did this before.
I do it all the time.
Okay.
I say, I'm Tam. I'm telling tales. And then you got to come to the camera and say, read a book.
I got you.
You got me?
You want to go over there to the camera?
You can do it however you want to.
Okay.
Okay? I'm just telling you, like, it get wild with the way folks decide they want to do this. So, you ready? Okay. You guys, I'm Tam. I'm Telling Tales.
And make sure you read Highway 725. Read you a book.
Tam Telling Tales.
I got it.